Good evening, Africa. Good evening, African Confessions. So I am back with another episode. There is this message that I want to share with you guys. The message reads like this. Hello, my brother. Can you please post for me as hidden identity? My brother, I want to ask. It's like I am dating this boyfriend of mine, but we have a situation that I am facing in this relationship. This boyfriend of mine, he tells me that we are not going to have sex until we get married. I am not against that idea, and I totally understand from where my man is coming from. I am not opposing him. The only problem that I am having with this decision that he is taking in our relationship is that every time when he calls me, he will say things like, "Come and sleep over at my house." And if I go there, when we are about to go to bed, he will say to me, "Remove all of your clothes." So I will go to bed naked. But when we are in bed, he will start to touch me. He can romance me throughout the night. And if I ask him or if I tell him, "These things that you are doing to me, I am not refusing, but can't you see that I am also human? With you romancing me like this, I'll end up feeling that we have to do it." So if I tell him the way that I will be feeling at that time, he will be so angry at me, and he will be like, "The way that you are now behaving, I can see that if I get married to you, you are going to cheat on me whenever I am not around because you cannot control your feelings." And he will tell me things like, "That means that I cannot trust you anymore." On his side, what he wants me to do is that whenever he is touching me, whenever he is romancing me, I have to stay quiet. I don't have to show him that I am feeling something. This is what he told me, that if I do that, then he can trust me that I am not going to cheat on him when I am married to him. I have tried so hard to show him that I love him, but now it is eating me inside. Like this past weekend, he said to me, "Come over to my house." So I went to his house. What I usually do is that when I go to my boyfriend's house, I will prepare a good meal for him. But on that day, he said to me, "Don't cook, I will cook for you today." He went, then he started cooking for me. After he had finished cooking for me, he brought the food. Then we sat down, me and him, then we ate. So he had poured some fruit juice in a water glass. Then I was drinking that fruit juice. But I tasted that there was something funny that was inside that fruit juice. When I told him that there was a funny taste in that fruit juice, he said that he was sorry, saying that he had used a dirty water glass. But after I had finished drinking that fruit juice, I felt something, and the way that I was feeling, it was like I wanted to have sexual intercourse, and the way that I was feeling, it was just overdose. So I told him everything that I was feeling in my body. But when I told him, he started romancing me. But he said that we are not going to do anything. I am just going to touch you until you feel better. So he stripped me naked. Then he put me to bed. Then he started touching me, and he kept on touching me almost the whole night. And I started to feel cold. So I told him that, "Look, you are wearing clothes and I am naked. I am feeling so cold. Can you please just stop what you are doing?" After I had told him what I was feeling, he was so angry at me. He pushed me so hard. So the way that he had pushed me so hard, I fell over. But when he saw that I had fallen from the bed, he rushed to where I had fallen, and he started to apologize to me, saying that, "I am really sorry. I was just testing you. I wanted to see if you are a or not." I forgave him. Then the following day, he went out to work and he left me at his house. So I started cleaning his house like I always do. As I was cleaning his house, I came across a certain container, and in that container, there were some pills. So I made a research, and I saw that the pills that were inside that container, they were sexual enhancement pills, and they were not for men, but they were sexual enhancement pills for women, meaning that My boyfriend, this is what he was doing to me. Whenever I was at his place, he would offer me a glass of water or a fruit juice, but these things always had a funny taste, meaning that he was putting these pills in the water or in the fruit juice that he kept offering to me. When I asked him, why were you doing this to me? He said that I was just testing you to see if you are someone who is going to cheat on me when I get married to you. My brother, I feel that he is abusing me, but I don't know what should I do. In August, me and him, we are supposed to get married. But I am now doubting this relationship that I am having with this guy. But for me to break up with him, I am afraid. I am afraid to let down my parents, because when I was still in high school, there was this other boy who impregnated me, and when I fell pregnant whilst I was in high school, I saw that I had disappointed my mother. Now I feel that God has given me another chance to make my mother happy, but I am going through hell. As for the money that he wants to use for the lobola negotiations come August, the money is there in his house, and it is a lot and a lot of money. But the strange thing that he did with that money is that he went to a fabric store, then he bought this fabric with an African print. On that fabric, there is a print of a lion, and it is a red fabric. Then he came back and he took all of that money. Then he wrapped that money inside that fabric. When I asked him, why did you have to do this? Why is this money wrapped inside this red fabric? Then he told me that he is informing his ancestors that this money that is in that fabric is for my lobola negotiations. I don't know where I have wronged him, and I can't understand why he is abusing me like this when he knows that I love him so much. Each and every day, I am getting thinner and thinner because of the words that he keeps on telling me. His words that he tells me sometimes, they are so hurtful. There was this other day, we were just speaking, then he said to me, so you wanted to have sex with me when you are thin like this. You wanted to give me HIV/AIDS. Then he started laughing at me. When he saw that I was not okay with the words that he had told me, he said, I am sorry, I was just joking with you. But it is giving me such great pain in my heart. As we are speaking right now, he got a brand new car via the bank. It's a brand new car, my brother. But if I tell you about that new Toyota Fortuner that he is now driving, there was this other day when me and him, we had a trip. He said that he wanted to go with me to Durban, saying that there is this business deal that he wants to do in Durban. So I went with him. Whilst we were driving, this brand new car kept on switching off. He will drive, then the car will switch off. He will drive it again, then it will switch off. So angrily, he got out of the car. When he got out of the car, I thought that maybe he wanted to call a towing truck company. Maybe he wanted to call a mechanic. The place that we had gotten stuck, it was a scary place. There was nobody that was living in that area. It was just an empty space. But what he did next truly surprised me. Even now, I am still puzzled by the meaning of all the things that he did on that night. What he did is that he went into the nearby bushes. Then, after a few minutes, he came out of the bushes. But when he came out of the bushes, he was holding a tree branch. Then he started to hit his brand new Toyota Fortuner with that tree branch that he was holding. After that, he threw away that tree branch. He got back into the car. Then he started to drive the car. From there until we reached Durban, that car never gave him any problems. When we were in Durban, I was not allowed to get out of the house. We spent about 2 good weeks in Durban, but I never got the chance to see what Durban looked like. But from what I could see and from what I could hear, I saw that we were in the suburbs because there was less noise. The house that I was being kept in, my brother, it had no electricity. It had nothing. It was just an empty house. So what he used to do is that throughout the day, I'll be alone. Then whenever you will come back, you will be holding some steers, takeaways. That is what we were eating for 2 good weeks. But I noticed that whenever you come back, you will be smelling herbs, and his clothes will be so wet. So one day I asked him, why is it every time that you come back, you'll be smelling and your clothes will be so wet? What is going on? Then he said to me that me and my business partners, we are having our business meetings by the beach, and I just kept quiet. When we went to Durban, me and my boyfriend, we drove all night until we reached Durban. When we left Durban again, we drove throughout the night, so I never saw Durban. My brother, deep down in my heart, I feel so heavy. Me and my boyfriend, we met in church, and I thought that God had given me this boyfriend that I am dating. But after a while, he said that this church that we had met in, there was no God in that church. He told me that he was going to go around to look for another church. And he came back and he told me that now we are going to attend this church. I thought that finally God has blessed me. But now, if you ask me, I don't know if God has blessed me or if God has put a curse on me. Depression and high blood pressure is going to kill me, my brother. I told him everything that I am feeling. I told him that as a woman who has given birth before, if I get pregnant, I don't think that I'll make it when I am having labor pains, because I know that this thing that I am feeling, I am not going to survive another pregnancy. But the way that he responded to me, he said to me, this thing that you are telling me that you are now having high blood pressure, it is a thing that is only in your mind. With all the money that I have, why will you say that you have high blood pressure? You are now having high blood pressure because I said that no sex before marriage. It means that you are a cheater. You are a... All of his insults, they are damaging me emotionally. When me and him went to Durban, he said to me, pack your clothes and all of your toiletries because we are going to Durban. So I did as he had asked me to do. But if I tell you that I came back from Durban without any of my clothes, without any of my toiletries, all of my clothes were left behind in Durban, including my panties, including everything that I had in my suitcase. I am now scared, people of God. I don't know what he did with my clothes. To tell you the truth, I am so scared for my life. So when we arrived in Durban, he said that, look, it is already too late for you to take out your suitcase out of the car. You will remove all of your clothes tomorrow. So we just went into the house. Then I overslept. When I woke up in the morning, I saw that my boyfriend was not there. His car was not there. So I don't know if he slept at all, or maybe he just waited for me to sleep. Then he just drove away. When my boyfriend came back, I asked him, where is my suitcase? Where are my clothes? Then he looked surprised and he said to me that your suitcase and all of your toiletries have been stolen. Then he just kept quiet. No explanation, no what. That is the way that he treats me. Each and every time when he buys a new phone, he will just call me to come to his place. And when I go to his place, he will say to me, remove all of your SIM cards in that phone, and I'm going to give you this phone that I have bought for you. So if I ask him, what about my information that is in my old phone? Then he will be like, what information do you need? Then he will take the phone and he will remove the SIM cards and he will give me a brand new phone. My brother, my life is not stable. Emotionally, I am just a damaged person. When we returned from our Durban trip, I wanted to tell my mother everything that had happened whilst we were in Durban, because no woman will feel comfortable knowing that all of your clothes, including your panties, have been stolen. So I wanted to tell my mother everything that had happened. So I told my boyfriend that I was going to speak with my mother. Then he said to me, "Look what you want to do now. You want your mother to hate me. You want all of your relatives to hate me." So I said, "It's okay. I am not going to tell her." But what happened next, I don't even understand. One day, I just received a phone call from my mother. She was angry. She was like, "What are you doing to this guy that wants to marry you? Don't you know that this guy loves you so much?" Because he just called me and he was crying over the phone. For me to explain to my mother everything that had happened, it was too late. Then after that incident, I heard that he had bought a brand new car for my brother. So on my family side, I have no support. They love my husband so much because he showers them with a lot of gifts. My brother, I am just an emotional wreck. I have nowhere to turn to. What my boyfriend did to me, when we started dating, he said to me, "I don't want you to work because I have a lot of money. I am not allowed to work. I don't have anywhere where I can get money. If I want something, he will just buy that thing that I want for me. I am always broke." The worst thing, my brother, is that what he did to me, he went and he rented an apartment, and that apartment is so close to his house because he wants to check on my movements each and every time. When I asked him, "What is the reason for you to rent an apartment for me when you are just staying so close to me?" He said that in the Bible it is written that if you are not married yet, you have to stay on your own, and I have to stay on my own until we are married. Like I have said, I am just an emotional wreck. I have nowhere to turn to. Now, I am only hoping that when August comes, if I get married to him, maybe he will treat me like a real woman. As for now, he treats me like a piece of junk. There was this other day when he took my ID, then he threw it away. I asked him, "Why have you done this?" Then he said that, "You are the one to be blamed. You have made me to do this because you have made me angry." I feel so lost, my brother. I don't know what I should do. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Please let us speak with her in the comment section. There is another message that I'm going to share with you guys, but I think that guy should be arrested. What he did is not fair. It is not fair at all. I am going to read that message for you, maybe today, maybe tomorrow.